a very interesting video I saw today, and I'm actually going to post it later on. But this video was by a woman, a journalist, who applied to be an ICE agent. And the stuff that she details, meaning how the interview went and what questions she was asked, and what type of verification system they use to make sure that you're not a pedophile or a domestic abuser or a violent offender. It's just really eye-opening, and it really tells us exactly what kind of people ICE is hiring. I'm sure not every single ICE agent is a domestic abuser or a convicted criminal or January 6th participant or a Proud Boy. But I'm gonna say at this point, all the new hires this year, 2026, 2025, are all probably hardcore MAGA crazy criminal lunatics, and they're just there to cause chaos and inflict damage on American populace. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting. But I hope we're at the breaking point where we are going to see a change pretty soon. I mean, I think the Democrats are pushing hardcore for elections, and we have to do this before Donald Trump starts declaring all kinds of crazy laws against the things that he agitated, things that he started. So the sooner we get him out of office, the sooner we can shut down this ICE nonsense and start prosecutions, because that's all I'm looking for. I'm really looking for three things from the next candidate. Whoever's a candidate in my county over here in Palm Beach County or in the state of Florida, I'm looking for three things. One, get rid of Trump. Two, get rid of the entire administration and actually take him to court, each individual for violating the Constitution. And three, take care of ICE, dissolve ICE, and then start charging each individual complicit in crimes against seems like anyone they come in contact with, especially the murderous Ross guy. So yeah, so here we go. We're getting some let's see, answers here. Yes, no, yep, nope, no thank you. I wish I could vote on my own poll, but I can't. ICE agents are unqualified. Most of them were unqualified for their job, and again, there was a great a video I just saw. It was a journalist that was interviewing for a position with ICE, and she detailed the entire process of getting hired, where she didn't even know she got the job, and her approval was approved 3 days into the future, and she smoked some weed before she went for a blood test, and guess what? Passed with flying colors. They didn't even check her blood test results that they sent her for. So this is the kind of people that we're dealing with. This is the type of kind of people we're dealing with. She didn't sign any consent. Normally when you work for any kind of federal agency, right, you have to go through some sort of a screening, fingerprinting. You want to make sure that you're not a criminal, make sure you're not a domestic abuser, make sure you're not don't have a felony, make sure you're capable, let's say in a job where you got to carry a gun, that you're capable of carrying a gun and don't have any outstanding felonies. Nothing like that is being done with ICE, or at least majority of the hirees. So, and you can kind of tell by the behavior of these agents out in the streets. They're behaving like just common criminals. They're not behaving like the representatives of the government, which they have to abide by laws and rules, and they have to conduct all of their activities within the scope of what the government assigns, number one, and number two, with all the limitations that the government puts on those employees. They can't just simply kick down doors and break car windows and shoot people in the face. That's just uncalled for. And I don't know if you guys seen the video, but there's a video of people fighting back in Minnesota, and they actually took a couple ICE agents down, which they're my new heroes. So love that. So regardless, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, you look at these people, and unless you are a violent criminal, unless you're a domestic abuser, unless you are a felon, then yeah, you don't see anything wrong with those things, right? You're basically you're seeing yourself in the mirror, and you're like, yeah, they're doing the right job by beating people up. That's what you would do. That makes you a violent criminal. So maybe you look in the mirror. Maybe stop for a minute and think what would happen if they came across your mother, your brother, sister, your kid, right? How they would behave. I don't want them near my family. They have no reason to be near my family. But yet, and they had no reason to be talking to this Renee Goody who they murdered. But yet they did. So, yeah, most ICE agents are unqualified. So far we're at 46% of saying that they are unqualified and 56 saying no, they are qualified. So they're qualified, right? Fucking, they got a pulse and they got an attitude problem. That's all they have, and rage. So that's not an ICE agent. That's just a criminal that's wearing a shield and hiding behind a fucking mask. But they'll get what's coming to them. They'll get theirs pretty soon. So we just have to be a little bit more patient as we slowly replace all the MAGA idiots in Congress with hopefully people who are capable of using their brain. We're going to remove funding for ICE because they don't need to be funded anymore. There's no reason to fund the terrorists. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what your feelings are about the country right now. They're not doing anything for the nation. In the people's eyes around the corner, anyone who looks at America looks at us like fucking Third Reich, what Germany used to look like during World War II, right before it, when Hitler was taking over. Hitler had the exact same strategy to rile up some of his supporters. He would attack. He started his attack with the most vulnerable groups, and then he moved on to larger groups of people. And it did help him that the German economy was in the toilet at that point after World War I, because they lost badly and they had absolutely no economy. And so the Hitler took advantage of that, and he jump-started the economy by building a war machine, basically. But as we all know, that economy is not going to do very well if you do not use the things that you build. So if you're putting all of your budget into making weapons, and any unused weapon is a useless weapon, and then something's got to be done with it. So if you don't do anything with it, if you don't replace it, if you don't replace the guns or the bullets, the tanks, the planes that you create for the war, then you can't sustain an economy like that. So yeah. But anyway, let's see. Someone said, the next president is not going to be better for our country. Is just going to be going back on everything Trump did, regardless of if it's Democrat or Republican. Well, I mean, so I think one of the things the next president should do is that he should allow Congress to make laws, right? Because laws, Donald Trump, regardless of what MAGA thinks, regardless of what he thinks, does not make laws. So as long as a president allows Congress to make laws, right, make their own laws, not what he wants to do, then we should be better, right? Because they're going to have more people. They're going to have, you have 427, something like that, congressmen, senators, and House of Representatives. I'm assuming that when you get a larger pool of people, they make smarter decisions. Although we've watched the leadership of Mike Pence and people like Comer or Jim Jordan or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Bobo the Clown from Colorado over there. We watch those people. They get loud, they get obnoxious, they keep bringing up things that don't exist in reality, and they continue to rile support for themselves. I think Mike Pence 3 months. I can almost take him out of that position because he is not very effective. If we had 17 Republicans that crossed over to vote on ACA extensions, and that was his like one goal is not to pass those extensions, and House Republicans, 17 of them broke away from Mike Pence, and they voted with all the Democrats to extend the ACA credits. I think there's going to be a push to get rid of Mike Pence and put somebody else in charge. And I guarantee you that if Republicans put up somebody who is very sympathetic to the Democrats, meaning one of those guys that voted for the House bill to extend the ACA credits, then I think you just need couple Republicans and all the Democrats, and they can vote somebody else in. Somebody's going to be more respectful. Someone's going to listen to a bipartisan body, not just Donald Trump. So I'm sure the 17 Republicans pissed off Donald Trump. He's probably got his name. He probably has all of his names on the desk, and he's probably plotting on how to get rid of them. Because the next thing that's going to happen is the Senate is going to have to vote on this. And I think they are putting a lot of pressure on the Senate. Even though right now we're dealing with ICE, we're dealing with Greenland, we're dealing with Venezuela, possibly Cuba, we're dealing with all the crazy shit that Donald Trump comes up with. Like, the guy fucking wakes up, has some kind of fucking TIA or something like that, trans ischemic attack, his brain's fucking short fries, and then he comes up with a new thing. Oh, today we're going to take over Greenland because we need to protect it from China and from Russia. Like, I don't know. In 50 years, I have not heard China or Russia trying to invade Greenland. Like, where the fuck? Like, he woke up from what? Like, his hamburger fucking fast in the middle of the night, ate fucking 3 cheeseburgers and woke up with shit on his brain. And now it's Greenland. Anyway, sorry, I get carried off. I get very passionate about hating Donald Trump. So, but anyway, so nobody's listening anyway, so whatever. But at least I get my energy out. So that sounds good. Support ICE. Well, all pedophiles support ICE, and all criminals and all fascists do support ICE, because that's what ICE is. ICE is nothing but criminals right now. Maybe at some point they were a respectable agency, but right now they are just fascists. They're criminals. They're Trump's personal Gestapo. They're basically nothing but the January 6ers, which are another group of terrorists. Anyone who thinks January 6 people were attackers were good people is a fascist. That's fascism. That's, yeah. So I hope there's enough sensible people in Congress to stop this nonsense. But block me. I'm not blocking anybody. I don't give a shit. What honestly, like, you can, if you want to be blocked, block yourself. Who cares? I'm not gonna waste my time with that. I'll answer if there's an intelligent question here or a comment, I'll gladly answer that. I'm not looking at the screen because I'm driving, so when I stop, I do look at the screen and say hello. But if anybody who's doing all this, Donald Trump's number one, you know what, then yeah, that's like, it's your own little fantasy world there. Maybe grab a library card or something and go read something, because obviously this is not working out for you. If you think Donald Trump is your hero, Jesus Christ, how brainwashed can you be? Like, I mean, when I was 20 years old, I started out as a Republican, and then very shortly thereafter, after working in healthcare for a few years, I realized that Republicans are terrible, right? And so it's not just me about my job, it's about people who need to receive. I care for my patients, and I love my patients. I want to make sure all of them get the best care possible. But what ends up happening is Republicans always get in the way of healthcare. all the fucking time. All the time. All the stupid laws that are curtailing and curbing access to healthcare is Republican. So if you're a Republican, if you're a MAGA supporter, and you're having a hard time with healthcare, guess what? That's your people doing that shit. That's you. That's not Democrats. That's not liberals. That's not even the independent folks. You know what that is? That's MAGA. That's Republicans. That's the GOP. Those are the people who are cutting healthcare right and left. So go ahead and blame yourself. Blame your own people. Look in the mirror. You voted for that shit. That's you own it. Yeah. Hear enough of conspiracy theories every single day from MAGA patients. They come up with their own little God knows what, and it's really weird listening to them. It's like, why are you here? Like, if you don't think healthcare is, so like, this is the one fucking thing that bothers me. Like, if you think healthcare is fake and evil and whatever, why do you come to the hospital? Why do you go see a doctor? Why do you even seek any treatment for anything? Why don't you just go and, I don't know, just go do whatever else you think is right. Go to a plumber and get your colonoscopy, you know? That might be best idea, right? I think most people who don't believe in healthcare, or they think somehow healthcare is fake or false or whatever, maybe they should go someplace else. Maybe they should go visit somebody else. I don't know. Okay, what is this person doing? Why aren't you just moving forward, lady? Go, you got green light. Jeez. It's like, how do you... Get off the phone and move. Jesus. Maybe people should be illegal somewhere else. I don't even know what that means. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? People should be illegal someplace else. What does illegal someplace else mean anyway? Huh? What does that even mean? Like, illegal someplace else. It's like the dumbest thing I've heard all day. It's like you don't sound American. I see. And what do I sound like? Right? Because I have an accent? I am an American. I've been an American probably longer than you've been alive. He wants free stuff. I don't want free. Fuck. You know what? You people who think that people want free, like, do you even understand how numbers work, right? People who think like, oh, Democrats want free stuff or whatever, somebody wants free stuff, like this is the kind of mentality from people who don't understand how fucking numbers work. Like, they don't understand what a number scale is, right? When you're thinking about how much money is being spent on, let's say, plans like I don't know, Medicare, versus how much money is being spent on, let's say, military, right? Or how much money is being spent as tax breaks for fucking billionaires that are doubling their fucking money every 5-6 years, right? They're doubling their billions of dollars because of tax breaks, because they're not getting money from giving money to the economy. They keep getting tax breaks, right? So the one big beautiful bill cut the taxes again for the billionaires, right? For the multi-millionaires and the billionaires. And And I wish you guys had at least 1/3 of the energy saying, look, what the fuck is wrong with Trump giving somebody who's got $100 billion fucking another tax break? But yet you worry about somebody who makes $7.50 an hour, $7.50 an hour. You worry about them getting another fucking dollar, right? That's the fucking mentality. Like fuck. It's like, yeah, let's just cut off a leg, but we could cut off, I don't know, tip of a finger instead, but let's just cut off a leg instead. That's the fucking kind of mentality that we're seeing here. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't understand how some people can be so blind, so like poorly educated to the fact that they don't understand how numbers work. Fucking, it's bad that most Americans don't know geography. They don't know their own fucking history, right? They don't understand how numbers work. It's hard for them to calculate percentages, right? You tell them about how many percent of people, or per capita. My favorite one is per capita. Seems like no MAGA, zero MAGA understands what the word per capita means. And yeah, and the only thing that you're good at right now is spreading disease, mental disease for once, and then measles and something else. That's where conservatives are great at, is spreading disease. And obviously listening to Donald Trump, and that's the only thing you have. The only opinions you have is those of Donald Trump. Nobody else. That's it. You don't have your own. You have lost the ability to form your own opinions, and the only thing you listen to is Donald Trump. Donald Trump tells you liberals are bad. Liberals are bad. Donald Trump tells you that it's raining. It's raining. Donald Trump tells you that Greenland wants to be attacked. You're like, yes, let's go attack Greenland. Fucking, you can't even find Greenland on a map. And you want to go attack Greenland. That's the kind of, that's the modern MAGA movement. Try to do less education and more what Donald Trump says. That's your only education. And then you support shit like ICE. Fucking worst in the human. Right now, worst of the worst humans are ICE right now. And Donald Trump. The fucking convict, he's a convicted sexual offender. And you guys cheer a fucking sexual offender. I don't know. I don't know how you cheer on a convicted sexual offender. And a felon. And the person is genuinely like the worst person there is. Person who... there was plenty of MAGA people that supported him that learned that he doesn't give a damn about them when they lost their jobs, they lost their benefits, they lost their health care. So maybe it's still too early in January. Maybe by February, when more MAGA people get sick because they lost their health care, maybe they're going to start wondering, why the fuck are we going for Greenland? Why do we need Greenland if we don't have health care for our own people here in the country? You know, maybe, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. MAGA doesn't learn very well. Their ability to process information has been curtailed quite a bit since Donald Trump took over office. So I doubt they're going to be able to learn anything from this. And there's a simple fact: some ideas only die when their last supporter dies out. So we might be in for a long ride here, unless everything just magically dissolves when Donald Trump passes away, which he is old. So I'm going to give him maybe 3 years at the most, because he's in a terrible health, terrible shape. He keeps getting tests every so often at the hospital, MRIs or CAT scans or whatever. He doesn't know what they are because he doesn't know what tests he had in the hospital, right? And these are the he thinks that windmill noise causes cancer. That was one of the things when I heard that first time. I'm like, what kind of idiot has to support Donald Trump if Donald Trump thinks that windmill noise causes cancer, right? Or that he probably still thinks that George Washington was defending airports, because that was in one of his official speeches. With the ramparts, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I know I sound like a lunatic right now, but yeah, I don't like that guy, as you can tell. But anyway, I'm coming to the end of my rant because I gotta get to the train station. But you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining in. If you like what you hear, or if you hate me with guts but you want to hear more, join me tomorrow, same time. I will be here. Subscribe, say hello, comment, call me a libtard. I love that word. One of my favorite words is libtard. You can call me libtard Tom, and then I'll gladly I will welcome you here. So, but if you're gonna come back here, make comments. Please make sure come back with something other than Donald Trump's #1, because that doesn't have any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't have any clout. Doesn't do anything. It doesn't say anything. It just says that you don't understand anything. So anyway, I'm gonna close this poll. Looks like, let's see, most ICE agents are unqualified for their jobs. No, 56% looks like MAGA, and 44% looks like non-MAGA folks came into my little talk today. So thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day. I'm gonna go now, and I will read these comments later on. You don't sound American was the last comment. That was my favorite comment. Yeah, what does an American sound like? Depending on which part of the country you're in, right? When you're in Tennessee, nobody sounds American over there. They sound like they're a redneck, right? When you're in California, everybody sounds like they're asking a question with every sentence. When you're in New York, you forget to say all the awes and everything, right? Is it New Jersey? I forgot which one it is. So, what does an American really sound, right? I think you mean that I'm supposed to be loving Donald Trump. That's what makes me sound like an American. Well, newsflash. Most of the people in America do not like Donald Trump, and most of them think that he's an idiot. So I'm not sign off with that. Have a fantastic day. See y'all tomorrow.